Alright guys, so we're going to be talking about the sword within Fortnite. Obviously, there's a bunch of stuff going on right now with this sword. There's a ton of controversy regarding this sword, especially with the Winter Royale, and also the fact that it's such an overpowered weapon within the normal rotation of Battle Royale, within solos, duos, and squads. It's just too insane of a weapon for it to be there. Obviously, there are better ways and there are things they need to do to, make this weapon balanced. Either vault it, get rid of it completely, make it its own limited time game mode. There's a bunch of stuff Fortnite needs to do because obviously it's not really working out within the normal game mode. So we're going to go through a bunch of stuff here, why the sword is causing issues, what they need to do, what people have been saying, and all that insane stuff, because obviously it's a pretty big deal right now. It's messing with the whole Fortnite game. Like, it's messing with the gameplay, it's messing with everything. So obviously something needs to be done, and we're going to be talking about that within this video. So if you can leave a like, that'd be greatly appreciated, and let's get started. So I want to touch upon here the first thing, how it's affecting the Winter Royale tournament. That's the main thing that sort of brought it up into, because I feel like when the sword was first released, and I thought too personally, it didn't seem like that big of a deal. It does do 75 damage, and you run faster, and I didn't realize that. You run faster, it does 75 damage. You can slam down from any length. You're not going to take fall damage. So if you come down from a mountain or from up top of wherever you are, you can slam down. You're not going to take any fall damage. You can lunge at players as well. There's a lot of things you can do that I didn't realize, all while taking 75 damage on anyone around you. So it does a lot of damage, and it really can just mess with the gameplay. So think about the normal game mode, normal Battle Royale. It's obviously going to do some damage, but now we're talking about the sort of competitive scene. We have from Slash here, $1 million competitive Fortnite presented by Epic Games, esports ready. Obviously sarcasm. I'm gonna play you guys the clip. It's not the best quality, but you're gonna see the reactions here, what's going on. A lot of you guys maybe have seen this clip already. It's just insane how this sword is messing with. This is competitive, by the way, $1 million tournament. This isn't just some random game. This is crazy. So here's the clip.
Psalm is a predator. Another one's gonna be right in front of him. Some defense coming through here, but what are you gonna be able to do when you're just stop him through the structures? And Uzi falls to the infinity blade.
There it is. See, he's looking to break the structures that are connecting these high ground players so he can pick up more elims too from the fall damage.
Gonna get another one here. He's gonna be trapped inside of the storm, though.
Doesn't matter. He can jump anywhere he needs to be right now. He
Another elimination. He's on a killing spree. Oh
Crushing
my
players.
word! He has picked up 8 eliminations, 10 eliminations. It doesn't matter anymore. This is Psalm's world, and we're just merely living in it.
Oh, the guy, no.
That's
They're all
number
just
11.
falling.
Because he's creating so much carnage.
Here's
He's creating so
another
much
one.
carnage. He got another one. Bizzle. The Infinity Blade is too good.
Obviously, that is just unreal. The guy literally was destroying so many people, all of the structures, killing anyone that was dropping down from their structure. This is a high-stakes game, and the fact that he was able to do that with the sword that was just added in the game just makes no sense. And I mean, if you think about the sword in general, it's overpowered, but especially for competitive, I don't know why that wasn't disabled for competitive. I guess, there are different sides of the argument. Like, you know what? You have to adapt to the game. It's Fortnite. It just makes sense, but there are already other stuff that's banned within Fortnite competitive. So the fact that that wasn't banned is really weird. And also, apparently the EU qualifiers didn't feature the sword because obviously it was before the sword was added. So how does that make sense? They're qualifying on different, playing fields, different grounds. It's so weird how they're doing that. The fact that they added the sword in and they knew there was going to be this huge qualifying event, it's just such a weird thing. Again, you have to adapt, but still, the sword, it's not just like a new weapon that was added. It changes the whole game. It's so overpowered, and you saw how it changed the whole ending of the game there. The guy was able to pretty much kill anyone in his way. I hit the mic, I'm sorry. And destroy all the structures, and I don't know. that obviously clearly seemed like something that should not have been in the game, especially for the competitive element, the Winter Royale that just happened this weekend. Here's some stuff from an article. The Infinity Blade is not a balanced weapon. Only one spawns per match, and it turns the player into a nearly unstoppable killing machine. It's like playing with the WMD while everyone just has scissors. That's the appeal. It's wild and absurd. It's a lot of fun, and while it's good for the game in general, it's apparently less welcome in the competitive setting like the Winter Royale. So I think that does make sense. Like, obviously, it's fun, it's crazy, it's like this crazy new, unique weapon, but especially for competitive, it's just, it should not be there. So here are a bunch of people's reactions, and this is where we're going to get to the fact of what we're going to do with this sword. Obviously, it can't stay in the game. Now, we talked about competitive, but I think within the normal game, it's still the same way. Even though, you know, your normal Fortnite Battle Royale game, it's not high stakes, you're not betting on them, it's nothing, you know, obviously if you die with the sword, it's not that big of a deal, but it's messing with the gameplay. That thing, the clip that you saw, that could happen in a normal Fortnite game mode, and people are going to be equally as pissed, because obviously it's messing with the game, it's messing with the ending, it's messing with how people are playing. When you have just one sword, one guy with a sword, destroying everyone, destroying all the structures, and just literally obliterating everyone without having to do anything, obviously that's not cool, messes with the game. So competitive or not competitive, they need to do something. So this is what people are saying. Avery says swords are cool, but I just want to play Fortnite. So obviously, again, let's just go back to normal Fortnite. Next one here is from Fortnite Battle Royale Leaks. This is just a poll they're doing, and I don't know, I voted Volta. I just wanted to see what the results were, but majority of the people are saying limited time mode. Obviously, that is the best thing. That's what I thought they were gonna do when the sword was first announced. I thought, okay, you know what, if it's gonna be this overpowered sword similar to, you know, the Thanos game mode, make it so you have one sword, overpowered as hell, make it even more overpowered in this limited time mode, and have that one guy be like the craziest guy in the game mode. And it's just how the Thanos game mode worked. You all have to fight to destroy him, and it's just a fun, insane game mode. That would be cool. Vaulted, I guess that's the next step. If they're not going to put the work to make it a limited time mode, just vault it. And I think, honestly, they're going to vault it anyway after a couple of weeks. This is not going to stay into the game for much longer. Regardless of it, you know, having, you know, being controversial, I think that they weren't going to have it in the game anyway for that long. But let's just see what some other people are saying. Thieves just woke up and realized the sword is still in Fortnite, back to sleep, so obviously not enjoying the sword's presence in the game. We have someone that responded to a tweet, just a normal tweet from Fortnite, just some random guy responded, like to remove the sword. Ton of people liked. You see at the top there, the Smith plays like that as well. So a bunch of people are in agreement that the sword should not be in the game. Ninja says some random stuff, and at the end, planes and swords will cause a huge amount of top players to not qualify. I'm sorry. All right, so that's a good point as well. A lot of the players that are, you know, I guess good at Fortnite, and they're good at building and shooting and doing all this stuff, it's just, it messes with them because their skill is almost useless when you have a guy with a sword that doesn't need to be good at the game at all, just down on the floor, swiping the sword, lunging forward, and really not having to do much of anything like that. You know, you lose the whole competitive aspect when you have this weapon that doesn't really require much of any effort to destroy and kill players. It's not like you're aiming, it's not like you're doing anything specific, you're just swiping and lunging, and it just has this huge wave of damage in front of it, and that's it. So obviously something needs to be done for that, and the question is, what are they going to do? So I think probably what they're going to do is they're just going to vault it. And unfortunately, I don't think they're going to have a limited time. I think the best case for us, because the sword is sick, like it's such a cool thing to have in the game. It's different, it's unique, but the limited time mode, I feel like they're just not going to put the effort into, you know, taking it out and then bringing it into a limited time. I feel like if they were going to do that, they would have done that to begin with. They added it to the game for a reason. Like, if they were going to make the sword a part of this limited time mode where the sword is like the main focus, they would have done that to begin with. So unfortunately, I do think it's just going to be vaulted. I don't know how soon, maybe just like in a month from now. And honestly, they were probably going to vault it in a month anyway. regardless of what people said. And you know, this has happened before with other things where they add in different stuff, and obviously there's competitive tournaments and there's different things, and it's messing with the game. And I don't know, I feel like Fortnite, I understand they want people to adapt to what they're adding, and the changes to the game, just gotta adapt to it. It's whatever, it's Fortnite, it's crazy, it's new, it's different. Like, I understand all of that, but when you have something this crazy, this different, and you have the opportunity to put it into a limited time mode, they should have known that to begin with. That would have been the best case, but honestly at this point, they're probably just gonna vault it, and that's that. So we'll just see what happens. Hopefully they fix it here. Hopefully they don't just like nerf it and then it just becomes like this useless weapon within the game. I don't know. Like I said, we'll see what happens. I think probably, unfortunately, they're not gonna make it into a limited time mode. That just seems like too much effort on their part. That would be cool, but they're probably not going to do that. And maybe they'll nerf it, but I don't really want them to do that either, to lose the fun and power of the sword, because it's, like I said again, it's still a fun thing to use, just not really that good for especially competitive, and it ruins the normal gameplay even in normal game modes, normal games of Fortnite. So I don't know. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy. Let me know what you guys want for the sword. Where do you want it to go? You want it to be vaulted, removed, etc.? What do you want? Leave a comment below. And yeah, I will see you guys later. Goodbye.